Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, bro. Today's video is about sacrifice, not qurbani or anything like that. As always in my videos, I like defining the concept so everyone's on the same page. Definition of sacrifice is an act of giving up something valued for the sake of something else, regarded as more important or worthy. Now, sacrifice is a part of life. Your parents probably sacrificed a lot for you, so be grateful to them. Today, I'm gonna just talk about the kind of things that I had to sacrifice personally, and hopefully it'll motivate you to sacrifice a bit more in your life. First of all, what should you be sacrificing for? Well, the answer, and the only answer I should be saying, is sacrificing for the sake of Allah. There's a very key hadith that I'm going to narrate right now that is going to encompass the whole video. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "You will never leave anything for the sake of Allah, but that Allah will replace it with something better for you." Okay, let's get on to the things I had to personally sacrifice. Let's start with video games. Right now, I very rarely play any video games. I've gone from playing video games for literally most of the day to not playing it, like almost not playing it at all. Now, I'm not telling you to obviously sacrifice all of video games, but for me, if you're playing it 8 hours a day, then come on, it needs to go. It is unbelievable how many hours I spent on Fortnite, bro. I'm telling you. Like, I was so invested in that game. I was literally like, I was training in the game. It's like there's obviously competitive game modes, but the amount of time I spent like training, and I wasn't even good at the game. It's probably more than 1,000 hours I spent on that game. It's very sad, but also I'm not sure if I regret it. I'd say I'd spend a little less time on it, but obviously that's behind me now. I don't really play it anymore. Now, I'll get something straight. I loved video games. I was obsessed. I was invested. But now I love the gym. Yeah, I'm invested in the gym. I do research on the gym. I obviously train in the gym. We're not that kind of training. I buy equipment for the gym. So there you go. Allah replaced it with something better for me. That's the hadith in action. The next thing that I absolutely loved as well and had to sacrifice was junk food or fast food. I was about as obsessed with fast food as I was video games, because sometimes I would pair them. But in a video that I made a very long time ago, I talked about this. But it was literally part of my schedule to go and get fast food. Like, I would make time in the day just to go and get fast food. Like, it was an event for me. I still remember it. It was every single Sunday I would go get a wing meal from this shop around the corner. And every single time on the way back, I would get a chocolate bar. Honestly, I reflect back and they were good times, but they obviously weren't good for me. So I'm glad I stopped. In the period of time where it took me to lose all the weight, I had to sacrifice a lot, but the main thing was fast food. Because obviously fast food is the most fattening food because it tastes very nice and you can eat a lot of it. So that's why people gorge on it, but that's pretty self-explanatory. But I love fast food. I used to eat it nearly every single day. Nearly every single day I used to eat fast food. But nowadays, I don't know what they're doing with the prices. I couldn't even afford it every day if I could. It's like, I've talked about this before, but £5 for a meal, bro. You're gone mad. The next thing I had to sacrifice was friends. Some friends that just don't align with your trajectory or they don't kind of see your vision for the future or what you want to do with your life. Just friends that are just bad people. You need to get rid of. You need to sacrifice them, or at least sacrifice the time you spend with them. I'm not saying sacrifice all your friends and become a loner, but sacrifice the ones that you know are not good for you. And again, I'm saying this to myself as much as you. If they refuse to change, then gotta get rid of them. I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. At least the time with them. Don't spend as much time with them. But honestly, it's better if you just stop talking to them altogether. I know it's sad, but it has to be done. The next thing that actually a lot of people sacrifice, actually everyone sacrifices, is time. Time is a very finite thing. This actually takes me back to my GCSE maths class, where my teacher went on this rant. He would often go on rants. He went on this rant about like currency, different types of currency. I'm not talking about like euros and pounds and dollars or anything like that. The three types that I remembered, he listed more, but the three types that I remembered were time, wealth, and health. Those were the three types of currencies that I mentioned. Those three things are things you spend. You spend money, you spend time on things, and you spend your health on things. Some things might retract from your health, some things, actually everything retracts from your time, and some things might retract from your wealth. Just some quick advice. Time is very, very finite. The dunya is short, yeah. Spend your time very, very wisely. Personally, I had to sacrifice a lot of time for obviously this video making. I had to sacrifice time for the gym. The gym takes a lot of time as well. Around like an hour and a half on average every day. Well, not every day, but I don't know, 6 times a week. But honestly, knowing me, if you gave me all that time, I'd probably just waste it. So this is probably better. Also, just before I end the video, there's some final advice that I want to give. Sacrificing things will never get easier. It will never get easier. You might get better at doing it, but it's never going to be easier. Sacrificing a friend is always hard. Sacrificing your time is hard. Sacrificing something you love in general is very, very hard. But inshallah, we can all sacrifice our jahil behavior for the sake of Allah together for something better in this life and the next. Alright, that's it for this video, boys. Take care, yeah? Safe one.
لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة رسول من الله يتلو صحفا مطهرة فيها كتب قيمة وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءتهم البينة وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أولئك هم شر البرية إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك هم خير البرية جزاؤهم عند ربهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه ذلك لمن خشي ربه